Hey, what's going on, guys? Chris Chavez here with Phandroid.com. You're watching the Android Overload for Monday, March 18th through Friday, March 22nd. Take it away, Babel.
And these are your top Android news stories.
Alright, so first up we have the HTC One. The phone was released, I don't know how many weeks ago over in New York, and there has been quite a lot of talk about possible delays. Now, while nobody's quite sure or they can't really pinpoint the exact cause for the delays, there's a lot of speculation that HTC can't find enough parts to actually make the phone, specifically with the ultra pixel camera that they used to make up the whole camera module. This led to further talk and rumors about parts suppliers no longer seeing HTC as a top tier smartphone vendor anymore. And while we can't really be sure of that, the phone has been delayed from its initial March or end of March release date to it's been pushed back to mid-April in the US. The phone actually launched right on schedule in some parts of the UK. I actually have a few friends that were able to pick it up on launch day, and they've been using it for like the past week or so. But when it comes to the US, I guess we just have to wait a few more weeks longer. And honestly, I believe the phone is definitely worth the wait. Now, where a little patience goes a long way, this is kind of pushing the HTC One to almost go head-to-head with the Galaxy S4 that's due to launch in April as well. Of course, when it comes to the US, you know, we always have to wait a few more weeks before we get anything here. Apparently, the folks at Geek.com have from a very reliable source, so this is from here on out, this is going to be rumor, but from somebody in Google, that Google is going to unify all of their messaging services like Google Talk and Google Voice and text messaging on Android. They're going to unify all that under one application. Now, where that's really not anything new, we've been hearing about that for quite some time now. The guys at Geek.com actually have it on good authority that the name of this service is going to be called Google Babel. Now, we're not sure how much weight this rumor holds. It could be just a internal name that Google's calling it, because I think it just sounds really silly. As one of my other fellow YouTubers out there mentioned, it just sounds really stupid to say like, hey man, like, why don't you send me a Babel, bro? Or like, sup girl, you gonna send me a Babel? For the love of God, Google, please do not let this be true. One thing I would like to see Google take some time and work on is Google Talk. As it stands, Google Talk is like the worst messaging app that you could possibly use. Just third-party solutions like Kik or WhatsApp, Path, just tons of other stuff that's out there, all these other messaging applications that you can just do a whole lot more with those, whether it's sending videos and they appear in the chat and you can watch them from the chat, or sending pictures, sending files, things like that. Google needs to like stop messing around with all this funky glass stuff and just take care of home base first. Get that G-Talk up and running properly. In more leaks, Google Play Store version 4.0 was leaked online. Now we have a bunch of pictures up on the site, and you can see Google is kind of moving towards this very card-like UI, similar to what you've seen if you have Google Now or you've seen anything on Google Now. Lots of white, lots of very minimal, and everything is kind of separated in these little cards. It looks pretty cool. I don't really have any complaints at all. They actually got rid of that annoying screen that you see after you install an app. It takes you to another screen saying this app will be installed on your device. Still no way to look at just your paid application. So all that stuff that you paid for gets mixed in with all these other free, all this other free crap that you've downloaded on the Google Play Store. It's kind of frustrating, especially when you want to just go back and look for some application that you purchased a long time ago. So we don't know when this is going to be rolling out to users. There's a good chance we'll see it possibly debut with Key Lime Pie for Google I/O in May. Hopefully we won't have to wait that long, and this is something Google will just start rolling out any day now. Okay, so now this one is going to be a little bit different of a rumor, because this is one that I don't believe in any way or the slightest, but some words by Gal Kawasaki. This is a recently hired Apple evangelist. He used to be an Apple fanboy for quite a while and recently converted over to Android, but he's kind of been hired to be almost like the creative director behind the Motorola smartphone division in Google. And he said on his Google Plus, wouldn't it be cool if you could customize a phone like this? And he linked to a video of the Porsche exclusive, which allows you to customize a Porsche. Things like the color, the rims, all of that sort of stuff. So of course, people are kind of reading a lot into this, taking this as maybe some sort of hint that's going to be introduced with the next Motorola XPhone that apparently Google and Motorola are working on. Right after this post, the guys at Android and Me claim that they've heard from one of their inside sources that the next Motorola XPhone is going to be fully configurable. You'll be able to pick the different parts you want, kind of like a computer, from the Google Play Store. And I just have to say that this is 100% without a doubt BS. I'd even be willing to bet money that whatever the heck is unveiled at Google I/O this year, it definitely won't have anything to do with a customizable device of any sort. This reminds me of a blog post I wrote, I don't know how many years ago, back in like the G1 days, like, wouldn't it be cool if you can customize your phone like a computer? Just pick all the little pieces and parts you need, and it comes out to a specific price. I do think Guy is possibly hinting at is the possibility of multiple Motorola X phones, like a low-end, mid-end, and high-end device. Mid-end? Mid-range. Maybe later this year, during the Christmas time, once the new Nexus comes out. But even then, I think this is still kind of a ways off. I just feel like we're not there yet. And another bit of news that's been talked about for quite some time, more rumors of course, comes the Android smartwatch. Now, we've known about Google's plans to release some kind of smartwatch of some sort. This was from a patent filing back in 2011, and it was recently published online for everyone to see, detailing some kind of weird Android smartwatch where you could flip this clear cover and it would show you almost like augmented reality stuff from like the real world. Now this sounds a lot like Google Glass. This pretty much would be like a wrist wearable version of Google Glass. And the folks at Business Insider claim that they heard from somebody at Google that they are working on this sort of project. And then more recently, now we have some folks at Financial Times that are saying they have the inside word as well, and that the Android Nexus smartwatch actually does exist and it is coming out sometime in the very near future. It wasn't more than a couple days ago that we learned that Samsung actually confirmed that they will be working and bringing their own Android smartwatch to market, and now LG is confirming something similar. A lot of this might have to do with strong, heavy rumors that Apple is actually working on a smartwatch of their own. So I guess all these Android OEMs kind of want to beat them to the punch. No matter how big of an Android fanboy you are, I honestly can't imagine somebody wearing Google Glass, Android smartwatch, and then having like some Nexus in their pocket. Because where I'm from, you wouldn't make it 5 feet down the street without someone jumping you. Alright, so that's just going to about wrap up the Android overload for Friday, March 22nd to Monday, March 18th. For links to all of the articles I talked about here in this video, make sure you hit the description area down below. As always, don't forget to thumbs up or subscribe if you haven't already. With Phandroid.com, I'm Chris Chavez, and thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next week.